More home run heroics by the Cubs. The Cardinals led at 6-0. They maintain a one-run lead now at 7-6 as the Cubs keep rocketing the ball out of the ballpark today.
Let's take a look at the Gonzalez home run. Springer's still in the game. I'm not sure for how long, but right now the Cubs sneak within one. Alex hits number 18, and how far did it fly for Southwest Airlines? 370 very happy feet. So Mark Guthrie comes into this one. It is suddenly a one-run game, courtesy of the Cub bats. And he comes in to face Vina. Guthrie on for the 58th time. A 2-3 record, a 1.95 ERA. He's had a remarkable season.
And the Cardinals keep making mistakes middle in this ball game, and the Cubs are jumping all over them. Here comes Vina. He's 1 for 2. He singled, walked twice, and scored twice. The lesson there, don't walk him. Make him hit his way on, and Guthrie jumps ahead with a quick strike. Crowd today, 32,000 plus.
32,710. And there are seats available for tomorrow. If it's anything like the previous 4 in the series, it's going to be a whale of a game.
And your comments regarding the coach, right on target, man. What a great guy. He and Diana are a hoot, and they have as much fun as we have when they come up here for the 7th inning stretch.
St. Louis Cardinals in one-run games have been atrocious, and it hasn't been because of the offense or defense. They've had some problems out of the pen.
Vina scorches that to right center field. Ball carrying, and it's over the head of Kenny Lofton. Vina's going to end up at third base, I would think. He rounds second, and he will make it on a slide. Leadoff triple. Lofton played shallow, and the ball zoomed over his head with the wind blowing out.
Well, Mike Ditka said something in the last comment he made, Chip, was that you're going to win more games with character than you are with talent over the long haul. Both of these teams have a whole lot of character. They've got veterans. They've got guys who understand how to play the game. And it's going to hold both teams in good stead as they move toward a division title or a wild card race. Fernando Vina means a whole lot to this team. He drives it over the head of Lofton, and then he's off to the races. So a big day for J.D. Drew, a late insertion into the lineup, and the infield has to come in at all 4 positions. A very tough place to be.
Drew's 3 for 4 today, including a grand slam home run back in the 6th for St. Louis.
He could use a triple, and he would hit for the cycle. Triples in this ballpark are hard to come by, despite Fernando Vina's recent heroics.
1 strike to J.D. Drew. Popped him up. Alou playing deeply. He's going to come in, and Vina is not going anywhere. Alou airmails the cutoff man, but Drew pops out.
Well, with a man at third, you don't have to worry about the cutoff man in that situation, and there was no way that Vina was going to take off. Moises was very shallow, makes a good solid throw, and you certainly aren't going to gamble, not with Pujols coming up. Now the question, and I think you have to answer it, I don't know how you pitch to Pujols here.
I don't. I walk him and take my chances with Martinez, who doesn't run well. If you get a ground ball, you get a double play. And that's what's going to happen.
A good pitch to Drew, and now it enables you to put Pujols on.
There's ball 1. Again, we talk about it a lot at Wrigley Field because it happens a lot. With the day baseball, the shadows start to lengthen from the grandstand down the third base line. They've crossed home plate now. The pitcher working in up until what was a moment ago pretty bright sunshine, so that should favor the men on the mound. What also favors you, technically speaking, is the lefty-lefty matchup upcoming now with Tino Martinez of the Cardinals. So Pujols is walked for the 2nd time in this game.
Here comes Dusty Baker out. He's got Borowski loosening up. He has not signaled yet. He wants to have a meeting at the mound. Well, there's a number of obvious reasons why you would put Pujols at first base. One of them is with a runner at third and less than 2 outs, he's hitting in excess of 500, where Tino Martinez is hitting just over 200. So Dusty, just with a word, and I think he's talking about if the ball is hit a certain way, what to do with it. For instance, the infield probably won't come all the way in because Martinez doesn't run particularly well. So he's going to put him halfway. If you hit a ball to third and you don't think that you can turn to, then you got to come home with it.
In game 1 yesterday, Tino Martinez laid down a bunt with one man out and Edmonds aboard. He's not afraid to put one down if he doesn't think he can make consistent contact. He does. Line drive, and safe at the bag. Oh baby, almost a double play. Pujols back by an eyelash.
It looked to me like it was a double play, but we'll take a look. Great play by Randall Simon. Line drive rocket, and then he races Pujols back to the bag. The call by Bill Hahn, and we'll take another look at it. It's hit right on the button. Oh, he beats him by an eyelash, and Pujols is safe. What a good call on a bang-bang play. Randall Simon cannot get there in time. That was a great effort and a very good call by Bill Hahn.
I mean, that's as close as it can get. And for the fans who want to complain about the umpiring, folks, that man deserves a gold star. It would have been real tempting, I'm sure, or easy with a big home crowd to bang the man at first. We would have loved that to be the case, but the right call was the call he made. And now Guthrie gets the big second out. Scott Rowland is going to be the hitter, and the Cubs are going to do some double switching here in the bottom half, or I should say the top half of our 8th inning, with St. Louis runners first and third, leading by a 7-6 score.
It shows you what the Cubs think about this one. Joe Borowski, the closer, comes in. And while they make the double switch, as Alex Gonzalez leaves, we'll step out.
Get 5 Arby's melts for just $5. Oven roasted beef plus tangy cheddar. 5 Arby's melts, just $5. What are you eating today?
On the WB Monday, the season premiere of Seventh Heaven.
Carlos and I...
You're engaged?
We're...
There are moments that reshape a family.
You want to have a baby?
For the Camdens, that moment is now.
One life has changed forever.
I'm responsible.
And one life is over.
For killing someone.
The season premiere of Seventh Heaven.
Monday, September 15th on WGN.
On the WB Monday, September 15th, the powerful season premiere of Everwood.
If I don't wake up the way I'm supposed to, don't bring me back.
In this room, in these hands,
Prepare to close.
one decision will change more than a life.
Why don't you just tell me? What did you do?
It will change a town.
You should have told me. I'm your son.
You kept this from me.
So what happens now with us?
The unforgettable season premiere of Everwood.
Monday, September 15th on WGN. She loves her dogs. She loves a city of big shoulders. She loves Chicago. And you love the Sharon Osbourne Show, premiering September 15th on WGN.
Yeah! Changes for the Cubs now. Tony Womack moves from second to shortstop. Mark Grudzielanek in to play second base. Mark will hit in the number 2 spot in the Cub batting order. And Joe Borowski will bat in the 7th spot for the Cubs.
But he will pitch in the premier spot, and he's 1-2 with an ERA just under 3. Joe on for the 58th time. He inherits base runners at the corners. Scott Rowland up. Now, something to bear in mind, and it probably won't come into play because Rowland's a terrific hitter. But he can also bunt. And with Ramirez back at third, a bunt here surprises everybody, and it scores a run.
Borowski to work. Rowland doubled and scored his last time up, and he pops the first pitch up into straightaway right field. Sammy is there. We go to the bottom half. How about that? Cardinals get a leadoff triple, cannot score it. Still a one-run game, and the booming bats of the Cubs are coming up next.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country.
Chocolate cookie. Hey, Bobby.
Well, I would rent a car for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Why not get right to the good part? Like Southwest Airlines Rapid Rewards. Forget counting miles. Fly just 4 round trips and get 1 free by receiving double credit when you book at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
At CarQuest, our people go above and beyond the call of duty to help the technician working on your car by supplying them with superior service and only quality auto parts. Like Autolite Platinum Spark Plugs. Get the latest original equipment technology. Dependable and durable Autolite Platinum and Double Platinum Spark Plugs. Designed for one perfect spark every time. With nearly 4,000 stores and over 130,000 CarQuest parts to choose from. We'll be there when you need us. CarQuest, the professional choice.
I shall love you forever, Ethan.
Attention, Earthlings. I come in peace.
Avalanche! Help me!
That's fun for some. Playing the games from the Illinois Lottery. That's fun for all. Players have more fun.
Closed captioning for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana's well-oiled machine.
Ah, ho-hum, just another ball game at Wrigley Field as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning today.
This has been some tremendous series, and today no exception. The Cardinals got off to a great jump. The Cubs have come back, and now with Steve Klein on the mound, the Cubs within 1 run. And to come back and win this one will be one of the biggest wins of the year.
Cardinals led this game 6-0, but they had to go to their bullpen. Dan Herron worked 5+ today, and then the St. Louis pen with Facero, Springer and company gave up some prodigious home runs. And now Klein will face Womack and Lofton to start the 8th inning.
Tony Womack has shifted over to shortstop from second base. And Steve Klein, who's charged with getting the ball to the closer, steps in. Klein has been a pretty good setup man over the course of his career, but earlier this year when they were using him as a closer, he had some problems. However, his year is evening out. He's 5-5, the ERA 4.07, on for the 69th time. And
Look,
he has 3 saves.
Look who's in the Cardinal bullpen, Steve. It's Woody Williams.
Well, I think Isringhausen probably is used up at this point. And the veteran Woody Williams probably said, look, I'm good enough. I can close if you need me.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Renteria gloves, grabs, double clutch, and low throw. Womack's aboard. Cardinal defense has had some problems in this series. Uncharacteristic problems.
That's got to go as an error because Renteria was shading him up the middle. If he catches it and he throws it, it goes as a base hit. I'm real surprised. Renteria is right there to make the play. All he's got to do is catch it and throw it. Womack is out by 20 feet. He doesn't catch it. He doesn't throw it. Womack will take the hit. The end result is he winds up at first base. Bad play by Renteria.
Why is Williams up? Well, recall on the 1st of September, he went just 4 innings and 1/3. Of all the Cardinal pitchers, he might be the freshest. So he works in the pen, leadoff man on. That's the tying run here in the 8th inning. And Lofton steps out as something lands in the eye. Lofton 0 for 3 with a walk today. The Cubs 3 in the 6th, 3 more in the 7th. Have come back from a 6-0 deficit today. Kenny shows bunt and gets spun around. Now again, both benches have been warned about beanball stuff, but Mike Riley, again, the longest tenured veteran in this crew, knows the importance of the game, and he's not going to tell these pitchers they can't throw inside. Klein wanted the appeal. It was denied over at third. Shadows lengthening. So are Cardinal fans' faces as the Cubs down a run and threatening again. There's the bunt. Pushed in between. Roll it in the pitcher. Perfect throw. Perfect sacrifice. Runner at second. 1 out for Mark Grudzielanek.
You had Grudzielanek, you have Sosa, you have Alou, and you have Woody Williams throwing in the pen. And for Tony La Russa, who's seen his bullpen implode today, the only question is, does he go get Steve Klein? And I think that's been answered. Good sacrifice by Lofton. He puts it in the one spot that leaves Rolen only one play. Womack has good speed. And so with Woody Williams coming in a rare relief appearance and a game on the bases, we will be back.
Thursdays this September, Steve Harvey's back on the
Leg irons.
doing stuff you just don't see every day.
My, oh my, have times have changed. Please don't let this man die on this show.
Steve Harvey's Big Time, premiering Thursday, September 11th at 7 on WGN.
It began as a rescue. He survived in the jungle. It will end in betrayal.
It's very important to me that this all remain a private family matter.
Premiering Sunday, October 5th on WGN. Coming to the WB Thursday.
You make sandwiches?
With my feet.
Who's buying these sandwiches?
Finally, the superstars of your neighborhood are taking the stage.
You look like you'd eat this sandwich.
And King of Comedy Steve Harvey is sharing them with America.
You got a free sandwich and a beer. You can't believe your luck.
Steve Harvey's Big Time, premiering Thursday, September 11th at 7 on WGN.
Here are your defensive changes for the Cardinals. Albert Pujols moves from left field over to first base. So Taguchi takes over in left field. He'll hit in the number 9 spot. And Woody Williams is going to come on and make his first relief appearance since 1996 when he was a member of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Woody Williams at 14-7. He's on for the 29th time. The ERA at 3.64. And for him to volunteer to come into this game shows you just what September baseball is like. That's his last relief appearance. It was in the American League. And now Mark Grudzielanek gets his first at bat, and he looks out at Woody Williams.
This is that character you were talking about. Williams showing it here after a starting assignment on Labor Day. He gave up 10 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned in 4 innings and 1/3. And again, Tony La Russa apparently has got to feel that, at least at this point, Isringhausen's not an option.
Well, he pitched 2 innings in the opener yesterday and 1 inning in the second game.
1 ball, no strikes. Line drive, right center field. That's going to tie the game. Grudzielanek on his way to second. He's going to try for 3 around the bag. There he goes. It's a triple.
This ballpark is going crazy. Mark Grudzielanek with a triple to right center ties up the game. The Cubs have the right guy in the game as Joe Borowski ended the 8th. He will be on to protect the lead if the Cubs can get the lead. Mark Grudzielanek inserted in the lineup in the 2 spot, drives it into the gap. Both the fans and the bench going wild.
Infield in with Sosa up. Here's a spot where Sammy's got to make contact. He's walked twice, doubled, lined out, and scored 2.
Remember, it was Sammy that got the big hit to lead off the 5th inning that led to a bundle against Woody.
Popped up. Wind's going to push that toward the field of play. Contact made, but it's caught. 2 outs. And now the Cardinals a decision to make. Here's Alou, 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 2 scored.
This is not the best at bat that Sammy's had all day. A little anxious. He pops it up because the wind is blowing out as furiously as it is. It pushes the ball back to the field of play. A somewhat leaky defense has betrayed the Cardinals along with a generous bullpen. Now the Cubs one hit away from taking the lead on a day where the wind is howling straight out.
And it's pick your poison. Alou 4 for 4, a right-hand hitter versus Simon, the lefty, who's 0 for 4 and waiting on deck.
I would think that Woody Williams would be very careful with Moises Alou. Alou had a ringing double following up Sosa's single in that 5th inning that chased Williams.
Down the right field line, that ball's going to creep into the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We'll take a look at the home run by Moises Alou in the 7th. That started the comeback. Moises hit his 20th. He has 3 driven in today, 3 singles and a home run.
The Cubs have come back from a 6-0 deficit to tie the game. Line drive, and the Cubs have the lead. They pitch to Alou. He's 5 for 5. The Cardinal pen has given up 6 runs in 3 innings.
Moises Alou has had an all-world day. He's driven in 4 in his 5 hits.
Here's Randall Simon. 2 more here in the 8th have come across, so the Cardinals have blown it big time. They led 6-0, and the Cubs have a chance to turn baseball on its ear with a win today. In the 9th, Palmeiro, Renteria, Matheny, and Taguchi are the first 4 scheduled.
And remember, I don't know how bad the knee of Edmonds is, but he's still there. And you can bet, although he won't be able to run very well with the game on the line, you might get a look at Jim Edmonds.
Moises Alou, a huge day, his first home run since August the 19th. 5 hits, 5 RBIs, or 4 RBIs, I beg your pardon. And the Cubs have come back and have outscored the Cardinals after the 6th inning, 8-1.
Most blown saves, the Cardinals at the top of the leaderboard. Now, in all fairness to them, most of them before Isringhausen became available.
High fly ball down the left field line. So Taguchi is there. And we go to the 9th inning. The Cubs have had an amazing run. Listen to this crowd. 3 more outs to get. Leading by a run.
$6,000 down on one of America's favorite minivans? Now, during the Ford Authorized Clearance, you got it. Right now, get $3,000 cash back on Windstar, and Ford will match your down payment up to $1,500. And now, current Ford owners can get an additional $500 cash back. You want it? Then look again to your local Ford store.
Any way you want it, the way you need it, any way you want it. Everything can change in the blink of an eye. Everything can change in the blink of an eye. Yeah, yeah. Everything can change in the blink of an eye. Everything can change in the blink of an eye. Everything can change in the blink of an eye. Yeah, yeah. Y'all just be ready, cause here come the change.
Can I get another chicken?
Like dial-up? Imagine if everything just suddenly quit.
Right. That's it. I quit.
Unlike dial-up, Comcast high-speed internet doesn't just quit because it's always on. Best of all, it's now available at a dial-up price.
Voila. Bon appetit.
Waiter?
Nothing has changed. Everything has changed. The all-new 265 horsepower Nissan Maxima.
What a day. Alou and Grudzielanek get it done. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Cubs now have come back from a 6-0 hole. They lead it 8-7. Augie Ojeda in at short. Womack to second, and Orlando Palmeiro in the box. Strike one.
Well, you'd want Joe Borowski in the game. He got out of the 8th inning, getting Roland to pop up on the first pitch. Cubs have 3 outs to go in what would be a most improbable comeback.
Woody Williams for the Cardinals tried to be a hero for them, but he came in that 8th inning and gave up what turns out to be the go-ahead run.
The Cubs in the 6th scored 3, in the 7th 3, in the 8th 2. And Joe Borowski in the perfect spot. He's one of the few guys with a little rest out of that pen. It would be Borowski's game to win, not save. It would be Woody Williams to lose, and it would give him his 2nd loss in 3 days.
And this is his first pen appearance since 1996 with Toronto. 1-2. We talked about it earlier. This is the kind of game where you might see some unconventional moves as both managers try to buy innings of rest and innings of work at the same time in this ball game and for tomorrow's critical 5th and final matchup in the series and of the year. Fly ball down the left field line. Alou gives ground. He's going to have a play. Palmeiro down in the 9th. 1 away.
Well, we knew that this 5-game series would turn out to be a real good series. We didn't know that it could turn out to be a classic. And if the Cubs come back in this one to take a 3-1 lead in the series, the worst that can happen is they will game 1 game on the Cardinals in 5 and then not have to see them again the rest of the year. You win the game tomorrow. If you hold on today, and there's still 2 outs to go, you can actually take 4 of 5 from a team that has been their leading protagonist over the last few years.
Here's Renteria, and if this Central Division race continues to percolate as it has, remember the Astros and Cardinals play 6 games. You're going to gain ground on somebody in the division while they play head-to-head.
Assuming you win and take care of business,
exactly
the Cubs
right.
then will have their destiny in their own hands.
1 strike to Renteria, who finally picked up his first hit, an RBI single in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 14 in the series.
It's real important to get him out because he is their leading base runner.
And so far, Stoney, no sign at all of Jim Edmonds. Kerry Robinson's in the on-deck circle. We'll see if that continues.
Well, if Edmonds can't play today, there's not going to be a whole lot of disappointed Cub fans. And the fans on their feet looking for 2 more outs.
Did he go?
Yes, he did.
2 out.
There was no doubt about it. The call by Bill Hahn, who's had a very good day at first base. 1 call went against the Cubs on a double play, but that time he did swing. And as we supposed, it's not going to be Robinson. It's going to be Jim Edmonds. And there is out number 2. Edmonds is the only thing that stands in the way of the Cubs, and one of the great comebacks in recent memory against a real good baseball team.
This reminds you at all of the Sandberg game? Just the emotional ebb and flow of it?
The Sandberg game was great. They kept coming back. Rhino kept hitting the ball out of the park. They did it this time in a more critical situation. And they came back real late. But there's still 1 out to go, and it's one of their great hitters, Jim Edmonds, who apparently has a good enough knee to stand in between the Cubs and victory.
2 outs, bases empty for Edmonds. Cubs by a run. Thanks to our great crew, our producer Pete Toma, our director Skip Ellison, Mark Brady, our associate producer, our executive producer of WGN Sports, Bob Borwald, our AD, the young Caesar, Eric Welch, and our studio coordinator, Joe Pisa. We have been treated to another thriller with St. Louis. That catches the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now, we've seen Edmonds in this series hit the ball out of the ballpark if you stayed down and away, and hit the ball out of the ballpark if you stayed up and away. The count is 1-1 as Borowski shaved off the outside corner with that backdoor slider.
Strike 2. Edmonds argues.
1 more strike, and this ballpark is up for grabs.
Tempers flared early. Clement and Heron hit each other. Dusty Baker, Tony La Russa hollering at each other. But it all ends in a Cub win. Unbelievable. The Cardinals led 6-0. The Cubs come all the way back and win it 8-7. I don't believe it.
The Chicago Cubs baseball team, in exhibiting character this entire season, has never shown as much character as they showed today. Coming back against an excellent team, down 6-0 in a game that, for all intents and purposes, they were left for dead heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. And that look of the Cardinal dugout, more than anything else, tells you just what an effort this was. Over 32,000 fans on their feet, showing this Cub team what they think about them in a most improbable comeback in a most improbable season.
Moises Alou had a huge day, 5 for 5 with 4 RBIs. The critical decision made to pitch to him with the right-hander Woody Williams rather than pitch to Randall Simon, who was hitless on the day. Williams tried to be a hero for the Cardinals, but the Cubs spoil those plans behind Dusty Baker, who celebrates a huge win, one of the biggest ever for the Cubs. 8-7 is the final score, and we're pleased to be joined by Moises Alou down on the field. And Moises, you've been around playoff teams, World Series participants, a World Series winner. For Cubs fans who are starving for that kind of feeling, was this game reminiscent of that for you?
Sure it was. I mean, the atmosphere in this series has been unbelievable. The fans really been behind us. We've been playing great. The St. Louis been playing great too. And, you know, like I said earlier, you know, it takes a while for teams that bring guys from different teams, new managers, new coaches, to really click. And I think, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I felt like we're really clicking. And I really feel like I really feel good about this team right now.
Moises, you came up with a key double against Woody Williams in the 5th inning that led to his demise in a game where you chased him. Were you surprised after going 4 for 4 that they would even pitch to you in that situation as well as you were swinging the bat today?
Well, you know, I thought that they were probably going to try to pitch around me, but after my second swing, you know, I was late, a little bit late on the fastball. I think he tried to come back with the same pitch, and I was ready for it. You know, Simon's a great hitter. I mean, he was hitless, but this is a guy that's very dangerous too.
How big is tomorrow's game? Obviously, we know how big it is. I'm sure you guys can't wait to get to the ballpark and go at these guys again.
You know what? I'm just going to enjoy today's game. We worry about tomorrow. We worry tomorrow about tomorrow's game.
Well, we're going to enjoy this one with you, boys. Congratulations. 5-hit ball game, an improbable comeback. 6-0. St. Louis led it. The Cubs closing in indeed, Steve, on the National League Central Division lead in just, what can you say, classic ball game at Wrigley.
Well, Moises, congratulations. Thank you. And the Cubs provided some thrills. And in the end, it's Joe Borowski with a big win and strike 3. And in the immortal words of a Hall of Fame broadcaster that spent a lot of time with the St. Louis Cardinals, you can go crazy, fans.
8-7, your final score. White flag time at Wrigley. Back with more in a minute.
Sharon Osbourne's got a new home in daytime.
The rugs are from home, and you're lucky because if you were here, you could smell the dog pee on them.
The Sharon Osbourne Show premieres September 15th on WGN. WGN News at 9. Compelling coverage of local stories and the local perspective on stories from around the globe. Steve Sanders, Allison Payne, Dan Roan, and Tom Skilling. WGN News at 9.
So I got tickets to the game tomorrow night. I wasn't sure if you wanted to go.
Well, it doesn't sound like you want me to go.
What? Of course I want you to go. I just thought maybe, with the crowd and all that.
You'd probably have a better time with Gary.
Gary? No.
Why don't you ask Gary? And we'll hook up on Saturday.
Okay. If you're sure.
I'm sure.
Okay, bye-bye. You're in.
Yes! I'm out!
Announcing the biggest offers of the year on the award-winning Mercury Sable. Great end-of-the-model year savings during the Lincoln Mercury Anniversary Clearance. Plus, these great offers come with great features. Remote keyless entry, fingertip speed control, and power everything. Now get 0% APR financing for 6 full years or up to $4,000 cash back on Mercury Sable. Plus, your dealer's best model year-end price. It's one anniversary you don't want to miss. Hurry to your local Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Dude, isn't that your mom?
This is my house.
Dave's really getting hammered.
Check it out. He didn't bring his A game today.
Ball in. Let's go, baby. You can't check me. Come on, bring it. Bring it. Oh. Foul, man. Foul. Foul.
There's fun for some. And there's fun for all. With Mega Millions, there's no limit to how high the jackpot could go. So play the Illinois Lottery. Players have more fun.
This is the biggest Cub comeback in 4 years. They were down 6 runs this afternoon, came back to win it in heart-stopping fashion again. 8-7 is the final score as Joe Borowski picks up the win. We'll look at our final line score this afternoon for the Cubs. 8 runs, 13 hits. They played errorless ball. They left 9 on base. St. Louis, 7 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. They left 10. Borowski is the winner. Woody Williams in relief, tried to be a hero, but picks up his second loss in 3 days for St. Louis. His record falls to 14-8, his first relief outing, Steve, since 1996.
And in the end, Chip, what kept the Cubs in the game is what kept the Cubs close all year long, and that is that the Cardinals, who usually play very good defense, didn't today, but that bullpen for the Cubs a little bit better than the bullpen for the Cardinals, and they win a huge game here today.
St. Louis's pen gives up 6 runs, in fact, over the final 3 innings, and that was enough. As Moises Alou, coming off a real rough stretch of games, hits a 7th inning home run to get the Cubs to within 1, and then in the 8th inning, with 2 outs, they pitch to him. He caps a 5-for-5 day with his 4th RBI. That scored Mark Grudzielanek, and the Cubs earn an 8-7 win in this thrilling Central Division showdown. Standings at the moment, the Cubs creep to within a half game of first place. Houston plays in Los Angeles a little bit later on tonight. That game, of course, at Dodger Stadium. The pitching matchups for it: Jeremy Robertson against Kevin Brown. Go, Kevin Brown, go at Chavez Ravine.
They might have the right man at the right spot. Robertson's been struggling. Kevin Brown's been great. Dusty Baker as excited as everybody else. And the Cubs come from way back and win a big one.
Can't remember a more exciting series to this point ever at this ballpark, and more fun to follow tomorrow in the series wrap-up. I don't know about you. I'm exhausted, but thrilled too. 8-7 your final score. Cubs win it. It ran the gamut of emotions, and white flag time indeed, a real treat. We'll have a brief 10th inning show coming up next for Steve Stone and our entire crew. Chip Carey from the ballpark. Thanks for joining us today.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser. Comcast Cable and high-speed internet. proud sponsor of Chicago Cubs baseball. Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. The Illinois Lottery, where players have more fun. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Chicago Cubs. And by Southwest Airlines, more than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country.